Hello folks and welcome. Linux Mint 21.1 Cinnamon Desktop. Today's video is made for new users of Mint. And I am going to be talking about a fresh look at applets today. I have some videos already done on applets, but I'm going to give you a fresh look today discussing possibly a second menu that's highly customizable. You don't need any coding skills, anyone can do this. So welcome folks. If you're brand new to Mint, probably a good idea to take a look at some of this information. But more importantly, I will just make mention of the fact that I'm filming in 1920 by 1080. My video will be more than 2 minutes. All my videos on my new channel have timelines and chapters. So welcome folks. Alt and F4 to close that welcome screen. So I'm mostly going to talk about the right side of the panel bar. I'll talk a little bit about those icons, but in general, I'm going to be talking about this. I'm going to show you some things you can do with that extra Mint menu thing, and it's called My Stuff currently because I did some slight customization. More importantly, they're all clickable. You don't have to have any coding skills whatsoever. Anybody can do this. All right? I'm also going to talk about moving some of this stuff around, and I just noticed I have my Icelandic keyboard turned on, so I'll flip this back to English. But more importantly, I'm going to talk about moving these around. I did hear War Nightmare story a couple of 3 years ago on my previous channel. Somebody didn't watch one of my videos there also. They decided to deactivate that and reactivate it, and it appeared over here, and they didn't know how to fix that, so they reinstalled their system. That's the worst nightmare story I've heard on Mint. But in either case, I'm going to cover some of the troubleshooting also today. All right. So one more time, welcome folks. And I will start with applets. Applets can be found here by right-clicking on your panel bar. You can also open up your system settings and find applets here. And then I'll talk about the panel edits a little bit later. So let's open up right-click applets. So again, I'm treating this video for new users, so I'll be over-explaining a couple of things. You have a manage and a download section, two different categories, and I'll start with manage. When you see lock symbols, that means you can't remove them, but you can deactivate things. Let me show you that example. Accessibility options, I'm going to hit plus. Anytime you deactivate and reactivate icons in the Manage section, they'll always appear on the left side of the last icon on this side of the panel bar. Not over here, over here. So that was the last icon. So that appeared over here. And what can I do with this? All kinds of accessibility stuff, like possibly large text. Now, if I decided to keep that, I would have to move my calendar. I wanted to let you see that everything just grew in size text-wise. So if that's a desired option for you, you may want to turn that one on. It has absolutely no configuration. Some of these will have these gear boxes, which have configuration on them. And all of these boxes are different. But for you to view something on the panel, it needs to have a check mark. And you turn it on by doing that. And then you can deactivate it. Now I can't uninstall this one, but I can uninstall these two because I have an uninstall button. There's a lot of icons too that are turned on but not currently visible. My favorites is not being shown here because I don't have a favorite. I don't even have a favorites category. I'll touch upon that a little bit later too. Let's start with this one here. Again, you don't need any coding skills and you don't have to customize it. You can leave it as is. And I'm going to talk about what's in the download section now. It's sorted by different categories, and more importantly, some folks will say, I don't like applets, I don't like desklets. That's fine. Everybody's cup of tea is different. Whatever your thing is. Some people may like one applet and not another. Again, not everybody's cup of tea. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to uninstall this whole thing. And it'll remove all the customization. If you toggle this on and off after you customize that, also, same warning, it will remove all the customization. So you don't have to worry about a lot of things. This is just an applet. Minus, plus. It reappears over here with standard settings. All right, I'm going going to remove it completely and start from scratch. So the download section, again, lots of different applets. This is a desklet, a little different. Different video too. All right, let's click that, and providing you're connected to the internet, click that and it should install within a couple seconds and give you a check mark. Then go to Manage, click that and activate that. Again, anytime you activate an applet, it always puts it over here on the left side of your last icon. In this case, my simple screen recorders, but what's recording this video is the last icon. So I'm going to activate that. So this is default. I could configure it here, but I'm going to do it this way. First, I'm going to show you the menu. And you have all of these are active keys. Here's Software Manager. Here's your quit key, and they're fully functional. Everything's fully functional. You can also resize this on the fly. Grab it here or grab it here. Now, I'm going to just pause for a second. If you have not seen my video on Linux Mint 21.2 beta, that's available currently for download, I discuss some of the newer features that are in here. And one of them is resizing of this box in your Mint menu. Now, a lot of folks will watch videos and skip over things. That's why a lot of times I will make mention that I have timelines and chapters. But anytime you watch a YouTube video, I would encourage that you watch them in its entirety if you want to learn a subject, because sometimes you'll miss information. Because I have had comments about some of my videos that they ask the question, well, how do you do something? And it was clearly in the video. Now I'm going to continue. So again, these are customizable. You can resize the icons. There's a setting for that. Resize these icons, and you can also move these things around. So let me demo some of that. Again, you don't have to configure anything. I'm just showing you if you wanted to do this and have a little fun at the same time. So the layout, I'm going to first discuss moving this whole line right here to the top. So this whole line contains the same icons as this right here. All right, so it's currently on the bottom with the search feature. The search feature on this one is at the top and the icons on the side. So I'm going to go to the top now. Now those are on the top. Now they're on the left with the search bar on the bottom, and now these are on the right. These are, again, this is all up to you if you want to do this. Also on the behavior part, I'm going to depress my super key or my start key. What is that key normally? What is this referring to? Keyboard layout time, I'll use English, is this key right here. Some folks have two of these. Super add, left and right keys. Some folks will have none of these keys. They'll just have a control and an alt key, for instance. And some folks will have this key marked with a window symbol on it. Mine has the word start. I don't have a second one of these, but I'm depressing that key right now, pushing it down to trigger that Mint menu. All right, if that's interfering with this on your computer after you install this applet, you can turn these off. Click that and hit the back arrow key. It'll unassign it. You can do it to both of them if you like. The next feature I'm going to show is hover on menu. What does that mean? That means if you point your mouse pointer or cursor at it, it'll open this automatically. So let me demo that for you. And you can change the millisecond delay, but that's more importantly, just going to show that. Now let me change the behavior back to top again. Sorry. So basically that's what I'm talking about. You either click on something or you just click out. Now I'm going to move this box over to here, and I'm going to do the same thing with the Mint menu. I've shown this on my previous videos. Open menu with when I move my mouse over it. And it's also got a delay in this box is that set for 0, but I can do that. Now since my surface area is bigger because of the text, it's a little bit easier for me to trigger that. If you just don't have any text in here, then you'll be aiming for the icon. If you don't like that feature, obviously turn it on and off right here. The same thing goes with the Cinnamenu. You have that also available to you by turning that off. Lots of different options. Now, if you want to have a little bit of fun by changing the icon and the name on that, then here's your panel text, and you can change that to whatever you want. I'll just put in my stuff. If I decided to use a custom icon, the first default after this grid will be the cinnamon black and white icon. If you want the colored version of that, like an orange color, then click this. Go find the orange one and hit select. And let me close that to give you the full effect. It'll actually glow when I point it out. Okay, whatever you place down there, it kind of glows a little bit. Right click, configure. Didn't like that one? Then pick something else. You want it the same as your other one? There you have that. Now it looks exactly like that one, except the size is a little different, so let's fix that. How's that? Now it's a little bigger than that one. And it's kind of touching there, so I'm going to reduce that in size. On or off. Okay, still not good enough? How about some emojis? Maybe you want to be a little bit goofy about this, or even really goofy, is I have some custom icons also that I can hit browse, and I have a folder in my home folder that I brought in from another system that has a bunch of goofy icons on it. I'll use Darth Vader for, well actually, let me use this one first. Let me use this Chrome symbol. And it's too small, so I'm going to make it bigger. And that's as maximum that I can go on that particular icon size. And then I'm going to click that and go with another one of my own icons. And I'll pick Darth Vader with red eyeballs. He's a little tall, so what I'm going to do is reduce him just a little bit. Okay, I can continue down to maybe Dinky if I want. You can see the size changing right here. I'll just go maximum. That's about top to bottom. He also glows when I point at him, as you can notice. Just depends on what you're trying to put there. So let me click that open. The size of these icons here, here, and here are all done through here. All right, you can experiment with the sizes on your own. All right, there's lots of customization. It's just an applet, folks. It's just an applet. You don't like it, you turn it on and off, and it will go back to the defaults. As soon as you disable that and re-enable that, it will go back to the default icon, and all the settings will be default. You don't have to confuse yourself with, do I need to remember these settings? Absolutely not. This is only for the folks that like to customize stuff. You know, weird stuff like I do. All right, folks, let's talk about moving icons around. All right, I'm going to first tell you the nightmare story of a user that decided to disable this right here. Now, I have my full date and time turned on. Maybe you just have the clock. In either case, this user went into the applet section. It doesn't matter if you go through here or you right click. They went and found this icon and they decided to experiment. What does this do? So they went like this and they went, oops, it turned off my clock and time and date. So they went, that's okay, I'll just re-enable it and it's going to appear in the corner. It does not. It appears over here. So they panicked. They went, oh, I don't like it over here. I want it back to the corner. Well, they obviously didn't watch my older videos on my previous channel where I made mention of this. So I'll do it here again. To move this back to the corner or anywhere else for that matter, you need to turn this on. You can right click System Settings. I'll bring this up in the air a little bit so it doesn't touch this bar. You can turn on the panel edit this way. You'll see a green box. All right, but I'm going to turn this off and then close that. The fastest way you can do this is right click and flip this on. Before I actually do any of the edits, I just want to talk about this side of the house for a second. You do not need to have this turned on to move these icons. They will move all on their own. Just click and drag. This one won't move because I'm filming using Simple Screen Recorder, but I can move these four. I can also add new icons my way, or you can do it right click this way. I'm just going to drop an icon in there and move it around. is what I'm getting at. You don't need any special features for that. You can't move these around using the same method though. As soon as I click, this opens the calendar. I can't move it anywhere. That's why you need this edit mode on. Alright, so what happened with this user, they did that and they couldn't figure out how to fix this problem, so they decided to, well, reinstall, which is unfortunate. But in either case, let me show you how to do this. So pick up the time and date thing and put it wherever you want. You want it in the corner, so be it. It's in the corner. I'll put my stuff next to it right here. I'll put this over in here. When you get done, you turn that off so you don't see that green shade anymore. This is a maroon color. If you can't see this, is well, not maroon, but a bluish color. This is more of a maroon or a reddish color. Okay. I've also heard one story a couple of years ago, but I think they figured this out by themselves, is they were in edit mode, and instead of moving these icons, they decided to play with this one. So somebody went in here and went, let me try to squeeze it in there, and they go, whoops. And again, this will stay there after you turn this off. No reboots, no logging in or out will fix this problem. You could create a new user, yes. But this is now my new spot for my Mint menu, right? Well, not really. I want to pick it up, kind of shake it around a little bit and squeeze it in the corner. There, it's done. You can move all these icons by themselves, except for a couple of them. They'll move as a pair. This one is one of them. That blue icon that's in the air right now is Simple Screen Recorder, and the white icon that looks like mountains is Variety. You may not have those. So basically your Bluetooth and your Shield may move together. Okay? Notification icon, if you don't like it where it's at, move it somewhere else. Battery indicator, move it somewhere else. Rearranging the furniture, in other words. I'm going to squeeze this back in the corner. And now I'm going to turn this off. Okay, it may take a second or so because it's still busy trying to rearrange your furniture here. But these icons are no longer movable. Now, I'm going to also show you one example of some icons that are active but not showing. I want to flip this back on to show this specific icon. This is called your favorites. And I'm going to turn it back off. And you'll see the icon will disappear. Right click, panel, and I'll go find the icon. It's active. That means it should be showing, right? And it only has one option of showing full path. So why isn't it showing? That's because it doesn't need to. If you want to think about this as a smart icon, what's going on here is I don't have any favorites. That's why. I don't even have a favorites category because I haven't made anything favorites in my file manager. That's a little different from this favorites. So what I'm going to do is make a favorite, like maybe music. As soon as I make this a favorite, that icon will appear on my panel wherever I placed it last. And in this case, it's right here. I will also get a new category now that says favorites with that icon. If I add more things, right click, add to favorites, that's 2 items, and the third one, close, close. I will now see 3 of these here, and these are fully clickable. Okay, and I'll have also the same here. Okay, and this is my wallpapers and, well, different digital pictures. I got some strange stuff. You may have seen some of these wallpapers in my videos before. That one's there is really, really weird. All right, more importantly, that icon appeared only because I activated these things. 1 or more favorites. So if I deactivate these, as long as I have 1 lit up, this will show. As soon as I remove that one, it will disappear. That's what I call a smart icon. You'll also see the category disappear. So, one more time on the applets, just because you have it turned on doesn't always mean that you'll see it. There's a couple of applets in here too that when they're not in use, even though they're turned on, you won't see anything on your panel bar. And Favorites is one of those. This guy, even though it's checked. Could I uncheck them? Yes, I could, and also have favorites. So let me give you that example. So I'll just do documents. So the icon is here. My category of favorites is here with one folder. I'll turn this off because I can't uninstall it, remember? No icon. In other words, now I have a little bit more real estate on here. A little bit more room, in other words. But the category is still here. Even though I turned this off, this will still appear here. As soon as I turn this off, though, then that disappears out of your menu. So I'm going to re-enable that. That's normally on by default, by the way, folks. So what is this gear thing? Okay, so I'm going to do a favorite, a couple more. Sorry, I didn't mean to click in and out of here so quickly. I'll just do 2 folders. So there's 2 items, and the icon is right here because I turned it on and off, and now it puts it back here to the left of the last icon. So I'm going to move it again to, I'll stick it next to Saturday. It's good exercise to understand how this works. I'm still waiting for the system to respond. There we go. All right, so you see how it's laid out now? This is a lot easier to read than this with most folks. But you can certainly do that. The tilde means your home folder, downloads. Home folder, documents. That's all that means. It's normal looking in here though. Okay, whether you click it or, I don't know what I got in my downloads. I got a whole bunch of stuff in there. It's the same thing as me clicking that. These are kind of like shortcuts. So I'm going to change that back to standard view. That's default. Most people like that feature. I think I'm done, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed some of this information. Thank you for watching.